This is the BYD Sealion 7. It's the most popular electric car model that BYD sold in Australia in 2025, and I'm going to tell you 8 things that you probably don't know about it and would be useful to know as a new owner. Let's go. Before I start my countdown, I think it's really interesting that this is the most popular non-Tesla electric car sold in Australia this year so far. Thousands have been sold because someone told me they're thinking of upgrading from their Atto 3 to this, and I don't know if they realize the actual payload or carrying capacity is almost the same between the Sealion 7, which is a medium-sized SUV, and the Atto 3, which is a small SUV. So bear that in mind. If you're thinking of loading up 4 or 5 big adults, heavy ones, with lots of luggage, then you're going to be actually only able to legally carry the same rough amount of weight inside in both of those cars. Something to bear in mind.
Please contribute. It really helps my independent, honest journalism for you.
If you're cross-shopping this Sealion 7 against the Tesla Model Y, which a lot of people will be doing, you will probably realize that there are similarities and differences. Like the size is pretty similar, but the inclusions, that's what's different. The Sealion 7
speed bump ahead
basically has everything but in here. Like it has so many inclusions. This is the performance version, but honestly, the base model premium version is more than what most people would need. And it's $9,000 cheaper, which is a lot of money in the current cost of living crisis. I'll talk about more between the two different versions of the Sealion 7 later. The first thing you need to know if you're trying to store the maximum amount of things that you can in your Sealion 7 is I initially couldn't find the Frunk release button. It's hidden deep down here. I actually had to get out of the car and look underneath, and it was just a latch there. I'm surprised BYD didn't make the latch a bit higher, or at least put a symbol there. Anyway, that's where the latch is, and once you open it, you will be impressed because the Sealion 7 Frunk is quite spacious, and the whole area underneath the bonnet is nice and tidy, completely sealed off, apart from the frunk and the windshield washer refill area. Unlike other BYD models, which don't have a frunk at all, and you can see all kinds of parts and other things visible when you open the hood. The second thing you should know is this is applicable to all BYD cars, but the Sealion 7 is basically the flagship currently of BYD's electric cars. It has the best software and the best sort of overall design of all of their cars to date. Definitely, like easily I can tell that after driving a Dolphin and an Atto 3 recently. Those are good, but this is clearly a step above. And all of the BYD electric cars come with over-the-air software updates, but beware, they can be really large software updates. Now there's one on this car for version 3, which is waiting to be installed, and I'm not going to install it till I stop driving and have 2 hours of free time, because it says it's going to take well over an hour to install. You definitely do not want to install a BYD software update when you're at a public charger or at a shopping mall with timed parking, or just before you go on a long road trip. Allow plenty of spare time, because it's going to sit there and update and do its thing, and you can't use the car for other stuff in the meanwhile. The third thing you need to know about all BYD electric cars is that while the standard voice activation works if you say, "Hi BYD,
I'm here,"
you can also change the voice activation keyword to something of your own choice. At least 3 syllables. It has to be a longish word and something that the car recognizes. I changed it to computer because...
Hi there.
There you go. I changed it to the command used in Star Trek. Hi computer.
I'm here.
Turn on the air conditioning.
Okay, AC is on. Temperature set to 22 degrees.
Hi computer.
Hello.
Show me help.
I'm showing the help menu now.
Hi computer, show the map.
Hi there. Okay.
I'm going to accelerate to the legal speed limit on this section of the motorway, which is 80.
ICC activated.
Thing is though, after driving this car for a week, I honestly reckon most people should save the $9,000 price difference between the BYD Sealion 7 Performance, which is this, and the Premium. The Premium gets almost all the same features as the Performance does. Why wouldn't you save the money? Unless you need towing capacity, which the Performance does better, the sort of snap your head back speed acceleration that this car is capable of is kind of pointless for a normal car that does a school run. It drives on a motorway, maybe to visit your family on the other side of the city. What's the point of such crazy fast performance? I know people who have high performance cars like this, and they're more likely to get speeding fines because it's just so easy to accidentally speed in a car that's this fast. The fourth thing you should know about the BYD Sealion 7 is it's very comfortable to sit in. There are loads of different seat adjustment methods, and the one that I like best is the extra under thigh support. So there's a button where you can push it and you get more extra under thigh support, which is nice for people who are really tall and have long legs like me. If you're short, you don't need to use that setting. But yeah, very comfortable this car is. Lumbar support, it's got the works for comfort of seating. The fifth thing you should know about the BYD Sealion 7 is something that's a bit of a design question. I don't know why they did it. The charging port is in the back right-hand corner of the car. Probably the most inconvenient place for a charging port for using public fast chargers, as well as using curbside sort of pole chargers. I don't know why the designers didn't stick to the standard port location for the Atto 3 and the Dolphin off the front right-hand corner, so people can just drive into public fast chargers. Still a bit inconvenient for street charging because you need a longer cable, but at least for public fast chargers, that's a bit easier. Yeah, I don't know why they did that. Okay, the next thing I think you should need to know, the sixth thing, is that overall visibility in this car is not great. And to be fair, the Tesla Model Y visibility is also not great. But yeah, so the rear windscreen, not that huge. I mean, it's okay, bare minimum that I would consider acceptable. At least the center headrest can be put low if you're not using it, so it doesn't block the center of that view. And there are decent large wing mirrors and really good 360 cameras, but you'll be relying on those a lot because the pillars are quite chunky and in a bit of an inconvenient location in this car as well. What about efficiency? Well, let's have a look. It's about 21, I've found. A mixture of city and highway driving, back and forth from picking up this car and dropping it off at its storage location, and the rest of the time driving around the inner west of Sydney. 21 is not that good, to be honest. It's pretty poor. I don't understand why it's this inefficient, apart from, I guess, there is a lot of power. This is an all-wheel drive, and this is a very heavy car as well. So I think BYD needs to make some effort and work on the efficiency of its electric cars in general, but especially the larger, heavier ones with bigger batteries. Yeah, 21, not that impressive compared to some of the competition. The Model Y will be a lot more efficient, which is important when you're going on road trips. Now, might surprise a few people because a lot of electric car reviewers really love to drive performance versions of their cars. I honestly think that the premium version of the Sealion 7 is perfectly fine. Yeah, I reckon save the money. Get this. You still get really awesome features like all the seat adjustments, heated and cooled seats at the front. You get the heads-up display. You get the awesome cameras. The speed and performance of the premium is still plenty fast for normal everyday driving. Like I said, unless you're towing, you don't really need the performance spec of this car. You're just ending up spending $9,000 for a badge that has a faster speed limit, sort of 0 to 100 time on it. What do you think? Did you buy the Sealion 7? Look, it definitely has tons of inclusions, and I see why that makes it so popular. With recent cashback deals, limited time of $4,000, that is a very good deal for a car with this many inclusions. Hat tip to BYD for changing the game in that area.
Thanks for liking, subscribing, and sharing my videos. It really helps me make more videos like this for you. And have a look at the suggested videos up above. I'm pretty sure you'll like those as well. Thanks, and see you later.